Welcome to Back in the Groove. If you're new here, my name's Keith, and I'm getting back into vinyl after having my collection in storage for more than 25 years. Now, this time out, I'm going to be looking at my top 15 concept albums, and in doing that, I am going to be including some CDs as well, just to give you a fair warning. But before I get to my top picks, I wanted to give you a few kind of also rans that didn't make the cut. Now, as always, with these kind of rankings, the self-imposed ruling is that I can only include one concept album from any one artist. So some of the ones I'm going to show you that missed out maybe by other artists. The first one is Alice Cooper, and this is Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. A big favourite of mine in terms of the album as well as the artist. I love the sort of the playfulness of the album, lyrically and musically, and he introduces lots of kind of different stylings to this. Now, I think it was produced by Bob Ezrin, who I think did a great job on this. He's done a great job on a number of Alice Cooper's records, and I think he went on to do a lot for Kiss as well. But some great tracks on here, and some of the sort of quirky ones, like You Gotta Dance, has got this real sort of groovy, disco-y, jazzy kind of feel to it. Didn't We Meet's a great ballad, as is Wake Me Gently. Wish You Were Here was good. Guilty is a great track as well. So great, great album there. I'll try not to mention too much about these particular ones. So next up, we've got Michael Romeo from Symphony X, and this is his solo album based around the War of the Worlds. And this is War of the Worlds Part 1. There's allegedly a Part 2 of that coming out, and that's a good progressive metal kind of album. Next up, and remember, these are all misses, these are not my top 15. Next up, I've got the Tubes with the Completion Backwards Principle. And this was a concept where they kind of base all of the songs and the album around a kind of a business presentation. So they're all in business suits. You've got typical sort of corporate speak here with the credibility growth direction. You know, in corporate world, you often have these kind of three pillars or whatever that the companies are founded on. So a great album, and I'm a massive Tubes fan. Now, a quirkier one again is Harry Nilsson's The Point, which is a really odd, quirky, very early 70s classic rock slash folky. I'm not even sure where to position this. And this tells a quirky story of a boy who lives in the land of Point, but he's born pointless. So everyone in this land has pointy heads, but he has a pointless head and is banished from the land. And it's all about his journey. And there's a great booklet in here that kind of tells the story of the little boy and his dog that go off on this journey, and it's a real interesting little album. And that takes me back many years to when I was just sort of getting into music, and I was introduced that by a friend of mine who I used to play football with. And yeah, I still pull it out occasionally and enjoy it. Next up, we've got Styx with Kilroy Was Here. This is the one that's got Mr. Roboto on. You know, some good songs on it, but, you know, didn't quite do it for me, or certainly didn't do it in terms of making the top 15. Similarly, Kiss, The Elder, one of those albums that really divides sort of Kiss fans. Some like it, some don't. I don't mind the album personally, but it's not in my top 15. Similarly, Prince with Purple Rain, and again, some good tracks. Obviously, the Purple Rain itself, Let's Go Crazy, When Doves Cry, all great tracks, but didn't make my top 15. On the CD, an odd one for me, perhaps, the Arctic Monkeys, and this is called Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not. And this is a great little indie rock pop album, loosely based conceptually around teenagers nightclubbing, and life as a teenager. Next up, as another miss, we've got Wasps, The Crimson Idol, a great rock album and a great album from Wasp. Next up, we've got some Neil Morse with Solo Scriptura, a great progressive rock album. You've got Mike Portnoy on drums on this. You've got Paul Gilbert playing on a couple of tracks and doing some flamenco work. The opening track, The Door, which is, again, I've not got my glasses on, I need to put it on, a really long song. There's only sort of 3 or 4 songs or themes to the songs that make this up. The Door is a absolute classic. Similarly to the Arctic Monkeys, we've got Alanis Morissette, a great album in its time. I think maybe semi sort of autobiographical, if I can say it, and a really strong album. Aldenova Subject, meant to be a concept album, loosely themed concept, albeit. 6 a.m. with The Heroin Diaries, which is all about Nikki Sixx's diaries, and each song, I think, represents 1 month of the diary. And there's some great tracks on here. Accidents Can Happen is a great track. Life is Beautiful is another great one. And the last of the misses for me is Kansas, and this is In the Spirit of Things. And this is based around a town called Neosho Falls, which I think in 1951 was flooded. And as a result, it was an abandoned town, but it's still standing, and you can still go there and visit it. So those were all of the concept albums that didn't kind of make the cut for me. So I guess what did, and we've got in 15th place for me, we've got The Butterfly Ball. This is based around the Butterfly Ball and the Grasshopper's Feast. Now, I can't recall who wrote the actual book. I think it's a children's book. But this is just one that's got a lot of fond memories for me. Sort of picked this up when I was into Deep Purple, obviously, and it's got some great performances on from Glenn Hughes, from David Coverdale, as well as some other great artists like Lisa Strike. We've got Ronnie James Dio, of course, who sings about 3 tracks on this, including Love Is All, which was the main single that was released. Didn't do very well in this country, but did really well in several other countries. So number 15 for me is The Butterfly Ball. Now, next up, number 14 for me is the Alan Parsons Project, and this is Tales of Mystery and Imagination. So this is all based on the stories of Edgar Allan Poe, and Again, it's more of a nostalgic choice for me. I always remember particularly loving the track, "The System of Dr. Tara and Professor Feather," which was a great song. The Ravens, a really great track. Then you got "The Fall of the House of Usher," and it's just one of them, again, nostalgic albums for me. There's possibly better ones that I didn't include in my picks, but this one just has fond memories for me. Next up, I've included Styx as Paradise Theatre, just because this has some great tracks in it. It's actually a great album in terms of song content. And, one of the things in these selections is I've gone for great albums over necessarily the concept that's there. But in this, you've got Rockin' the Paradise, because it's all about, obviously, the Paradise Theatre. Too Much Time on My Hands, The Best of Times, Lonely People. Snowblind is a great one with James Young on vocals on that one. Halfpenny, Twopenny. It's just a great album. And as a bonus, it's laser etched as well, which makes it a nice little album. And then next up for me is The Tubes with Remote Control. Now, I've said many times that I'm a massive Tubes fan, and I could have gone with this or The Completion Backwards Principle. I ended up going with Remote Control, which is all themed around TV culture, and there's great track Turn Me On. TV is King. And if you've ever seen the Tubes live, Fee Waybill will do TV is King. He'll come on and he's kind of got cables strewn all over him, and he's got his head inside a TV, and he's sort of wandering around singing TV is King, and it's great. You've got Prime Time, which was a big single for the Tubes and was really marketed quite heavily. Came out in lots of different colored vinyls at the time. I think the one I've got is in the translucent yellow. We've got a kind of overture in here, but it's just a great album for me. Now, next up, I'm going to move over to CDs, because the next one is one I did mention in a previous video by a Swedish band called ACT. And they're a progressive band, but they're quite they're really hard to pigeonhole, because they've got quite a commercial kind of sound to them, really catchy songs. So they're not your typical progressive band, but this is called Last Epic, and it's about the goings on in a certain in a building. And there's tracks I think I mentioned before. Mr. Landlord is a great track. Manipulator is a really good track. Ted's Ballad is a lovely ballad, obviously, about the building, and it's just a fantastic album. If you've never tried ACT, then I really strongly recommend that you check them out. Now, staying with CDs for my collection, we've got Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Probably doesn't need too much of a mention. This is where Iron Maiden's sound, I think, started to change a little bit. I think Adrian Smith gone into sort of guitar synthesizers, and that's where you get that great sort of riff coming in on Moonchild, which is a great track, of course. The single Can I Play with Madness, which I think was directed or had one of the Monty Python team involved in that. You've got the Clairvoyant, Only the Good Die Young. Again, a really classic Maiden album, and probably many think of this as Maiden's finest hour. I think I read or listened to Bruce Dickinson's autobiography recently, and I'm sure he said that this is his favourite Maiden album. Next up, going back to vinyl for number 9 in my list, is Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, or the original War of the Worlds. You know, we talked about Michael Romeo's earlier in the albums that didn't make the cut. This is a, world-renowned album, of course. Featured lots of great artists. I particularly love it for Phil Lynnett's involvement as the Reverend, I think he's called in it. He's the kind of preacher, Nathaniel. And Julie Covington, I think, is his wife in it. It's just great performances. I also like David Essex in it, and of course the narration from Richard Burton. Now, it's a great album as well, in that, it has a lovely sort of booklet with it as well, and some great illustrations. So it's a really nicely put together piece. And it's not so much that I play this regularly, but again, lots of nostalgia probably for the album at the time. Phil Lynott, Julie Covington, who I think was in a program called Rock Follies around that sort of time that the album came out, or just before. Of course, you got Justin Hayward on there as well, from the Moody Blues, and it's just a really good album. So number 8 for me would be Alice Cooper, and this is From the Inside. It's Alice Cooper's tales or songs based around being in a lunatic asylum. And again, just thematically, it's a great album, but also the songs are fantastic. You got From the Inside itself is a great track. Like Serious on side 2, with an open side 2, is a great song. And then you got things like Veronica's For Veronica's Sake, and then you got the quirky Nurse Rosetta, where it's all about him looking down the nurse's sweater and undressing her with his eyes and things. But it's a really good album. You've got the Quiet Room as well, as a real sort of melancholy sort of ballad. And the great thing about this is, this is what albums are all about, isn't it? Great album covers. On the back, you've got the doors, where you're going to open the doors and see them all sort of getting out and being released from the asylum, so to speak. So that's Alice Cooper at number 8. Number 7 for me is this. This is Nostradamus, and this is by Nikolai Kotzev, who used to be in Brazen Abbott, and he put together a bunch of artists to perform this rock opera effectively. This has got some amazing artists on it. There's great performances on here from Glenn Hughes. You've got Jolene Turner on here, Jorn Land, Goran Edmonds on here, I think. It's an absolutely amazing cast of singers, and a really good album as well. So really worth giving this a listen if you've not heard it before. Like I say, Glenn Hughes, Jolene Turner, Jorn Land especially, all fantastic performances. Now, back to albums again, and Rick Wakeman, Journey to the Center of the Earth. And this is just one of those albums that I've always loved, the whole Jules Verne story behind it, going down to the center of the earth. And Rick Wakeman sort of visualize it. On here, you've got the narration. Is it David Hemmings or someone like that does the narration? You'll have to forgive me for not knowing that. Again, we've got one of these kind of gatefold sleeves going on that were very sort of popular of its time. Artwork's a little quirky on it, but a great album, and one of my favorite Rick Wakeman albums. I very nearly put in Six Wives of Henry VIII, which I also think is a great concept album, but that's, you know, all instrumental, whereas this has got the songs, the orchestra, the choral singers involved in it, and it's just a really good album. Following on from Rick Wakeman, we've got probably what many would think of as the greatest concept album, if not the best album of all time, and that's Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. You know, what can I say about this? I don't think there's much needs to be said. It is a fantastic album, start to finish. There's so much going on in the tracks. They're so atmospheric. The Great Gig in the Sky is incredible for me, as is Money. Of course, the production's incredible, and I, like many, I've got, you know, several versions of this. Some, you know, sounding better than others. So on a good stereo system, this just sounds amazing, and you can see why a lot of audiophiles in particular kind of like this album. So that was number 4 for me. Number 3 is from one of my favorite bands, and that's King's X, and this is Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. And the songs on this are all based around a short story that was written by the drummer Jerry Gaskill. And again, just an astonishing album. This and the Out of the Silent Planet album in particular are just amazing albums, as are the next, you know, probably half a dozen albums by King's X. You've got this is the one that's got Over My Head on, which is a famous track, probably King's X's anthem. But you've got Summerland on here, A Fall on Me, Mission, I'll Never Be the Same, The Difference, Send a Message. They're all fantastic tracks on there. And they really created their own sound for me, King's X, with all of their 3-part harmonies, tighter bars, guitar tones, and of course Doug Pinnick's vocals are just like nothing else. So number 4 for me is Gretchen Goes to Nebraska by King's X. Now, number 3 for me, I've mentioned a lot lately, so I almost feel guilty including this in my picks, but it's just such an amazing album, and I can't, you know, stop recommending it. So number 3 for me is Pain of Salvation and The Passing Light of Day. And if you've seen any of my videos lately, I've mentioned this a lot. Written by Daniel Gildenlow, about his time in hospital recovering from a flesh-eating disorder, and he was in hospital for about 4 months, thought he was going to die, and the result of that is an amazing album from all of the inspiration that he built up while he was in there. I think he was even in there with his guitar in his hospital bed, sort of writing songs as he was in there. Just absolutely fantastic. And next up for me at number 2 is Dream Theater with Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory. Possibly, I was going to say possibly Dream Theater's finest hour, Possibly, certainly with Jordan Rudess. For me, it's hard to beat Images and Words. This is amazing, and some amazing tracks on here. And I think, in particular, Jordan Rudess's work on here. Home's amazing. The Dance of Eternity. The overture it is really fantastic. Strange Deja Vu. All amazing tracks, and I really love the part in I think it's in The Dance of Eternity, isn't it, where John Rudess goes on this kind of ragtime piece. Is just absolutely fantastic and completely out of the blue. So number 2 for me is Dream Theater's Metropolis Part 2. So what is at number 1? Well, it would have been easy to put many of these in at number 1, Pink Floyd, Dream Theater, but I went with Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche. This for me just has a great concept behind it, but also the songs are fantastic. I Remember Now, Revolution Calling, Operation Mindcrime itself, Spreading the Disease, Breaking the Silence, I Don't Believe in Love. All amazing tracks. And, I'm not the biggest Queensryche fan. I mean, I do like them, don't get me wrong, and I've got a lot of their albums, but they're not one of the bands that I would kind of put right at the top of my choices for favourite bands. But this is a quintessential Queensryche album, and just an amazing piece of work. So you've got to give respect to this as an album, and particularly as a concept album. So that's my selections. 15 concept albums for your consideration, as well as all of the ones that I missed out. Now, there was loads of others that I could have brought and shown as well. Of course, there's several Pink Floyd ones: Animals, The Wall, Wish You Were Here. Lots of Alan Parsons Project, for instance. I couldn't actually find the Genesis Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. So there's tons more. So why not tell me down below which ones you would have put in your top 15 or top 10, whatever you want to consider. Tell me what you think of my choices. Where did I go wrong? Which ones are picks that you would have certainly included? Love to hear your comments. As always, if you enjoyed the video, do please give me a thumbs up, and do subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. But until the next video, bye for now.